technology, diversity, wine, the redwoods, and everything in between. Welcome to the Northern California Bay Area, and one show takes you inside the real estate that makes it all happen. This is By the
Bay. Hey everyone, and welcome back to By the Bay. I'm your host, Dan Anchetta, and I'm really grateful that you are here for another amazing episode. I have an awesome real estate professional. Julianna Labra is here. She is with W Real Estate in Sonoma County. And we met through our mutual friend, Gina Isola, who is a fantastic title rep that we both connected with. And she said that we had to meet. And so here we are. Mm-hmm. So thank you for being here on the podcast. Do you want to introduce yourself to the audience, kind of tell everyone what you do, how you help your clients, and how long you've been doing this?
Sure. My name is Juliana Labra, and I've been selling real estate in Sonoma County for 20 years. I help my clients navigate real estate, and I really pride myself on educating my clients. I do believe that my knowledge is my product.
Okay. That's amazing. So you've been doing this for like 20 years, and we were talking before the show started. You started off as someone's assistant and like learned from like stuffing envelopes all the way to where you're doing now.
100%.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So if you're local in Sonoma County, you might know Martin Levy from back in the day. He was huge and the real estate guy.
He was like everywhere.
100%. I heard someone say he was littered all over the 101 one time, and I was like, he was literally everywhere. So I did start off as being his assistant and secretary, and I worked my way up to get my license, and then I did stay working on his team for a little bit, and then I've been on my own. I've had a team and back on my own over the course of 20 years.
Yeah. So tell me about that decision. So going from someone's assistant, I totally think that's a great move for someone who's like brand new to the industry, is to work for like a high producer. Someone like Martin would be incredible, just because you get to see so many deals and you can put together, you know, if you were to go on your own at the beginning, it would take you 10 years to see the number of deals and different types of transactions and nuances throughout things that you probably see in 1 year working for someone else who's like a high producer. So tell me about the decision to go from there to going independent and then building team and then undoing team.
So the whole idea of going to work for another agent was learning and venturing off on my own. I just kind of like to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Sure.
So I did learn a lot. I learned a lot of things I wanted to implement in my business. I learned a lot of things I didn't want to do. And then I eventually ventured off on my own. And then when I had my kids, I have a good friend in real estate who has actually been in the business as long as I have. And he traveled a lot and I had little kids. So we just organically came together, like helped each other out, worked really well together. And over the course of like maybe a couple of years of doing that, we decided like, let's just be a team. Like we work so well together. And it was recently that I think our strength at the time that we created our team kind of was the reason why things didn't really work out in the last couple of years. Our age gap was really our strength, our ability to have knowledge in different areas and serve clients in so many times and spaces in their life.
Yeah.
That was our strength. We were opposites, right? But I think our age gap kind of finally caught up with us. We're in different stages in life. Like the hustle's not the same when you're feeding teenagers as like when you're maybe heading towards a more simple approach in life, maybe retirement years approaching, right? So it just didn't really work out. So last year I decided to leave my brokerage then to join W where I'm at now.
Got it. I don't think I had that context. So you were at a different brokerage, and then when you split the team, you decided to go and join W. Mm-hmm. Got it. Yeah. Okay. And so you recently just won like the Best of Sonoma County Reader's Choice Award. That's amazing for like that. That's now 2025 and 2026.
Well, 2026, I need you to vote for me.
Oh, we're still voting.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
But last year I did win the award.
That's awesome.
So humbling.
That's so cool.
So cool.
That's amazing because there's like, I don't know, 10,000 realtors and you got voted to be the very best one.
Yeah.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank
So
you.
as you are now, do you have anyone on your team? Do you have an assistant or is it just you?
So it's just me.
Okay.
But I do have a lot of help in the background, so I don't take credit for all the things. But the one thing that I really make sure I do is I am the go-to person for my client. There's no calling an assistant to get to me. There's no like, she'll call you back. You reach me, you text me directly. That is so important to me because this is such a personal thing that we're doing. Text me at 8 o'clock if something's on your mind. You don't need to wait for business hours. I mean, we're helping people navigate such big decisions, and sometimes you just need to ask me that question so you can sleep tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Do it.
I was talking to a client last night, like 8:30.
Yeah.
It's like I got the kids to bed because we have younger kids. You have older teenagers. I have a 4, 6, and an almost 9-year-old. And I got everyone to bed, and then was like, okay, I got to catch up on my email, and then I talked to a client that needed some advice, but they have their business hours and they're not available during regular business hours because they're working their job. It's like, well, that's what we do. So and I told them like, hey, I know that you want to talk at 7. I'm in the middle of bath time and bedtime with the littles, but I can call you after. And like, great, we'll get everything settled at our house and we'll talk to you in the evening time, which is like a really great thing in our industry because, you know, then I'm also available to like go volunteer in the classroom if I want to during the day. It's a really cool balance, but I don't think that the general population understands that you work Saturday mornings, you work Sunday nights, you work evenings, you work anytime.
You work when there's work.
I tell people that I'm always working and never working, right? Because it's true. It's like I have the freedom to like. I went to the gym this morning at 8 o'clock where, you know, if I had a traditional job, I'd be clocking in at 8 o'clock to go work at a bank or whatever I was doing.
Exactly.
So just you now and...
but I do want to say I have help with my 16-year-old Kai, who's amazing.
Okay.
I've recently hired him to help me with things that like are so simple because he just started driving. And so my clients will catch him, you know, filling the flyer box or swapping out the signs or, you know, meeting the photographers or whatever it is, like the little things that I can take off my plate. Not only is he an entrepreneur at heart, but he's money motivated. So he's like, Mom, you're going to pay me to do that? I'm on it.
Yeah,
Where do I go?
Give me the signs. I'll go put them out.
Exactly. So he does definitely get some credit.
That's so cool. So it's a family business now.
100%. Well, it always has been. My poor husband's like my handyman, plumber, like everything, every time I need him. So
everyone gets involved
100%.
when they need to.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I have the same situation where I have an assistant and processor like that does stuff, but my clients will sometimes hear from her, but like 99.9% of the time, I'm the only person they ever communicate with because if you take me out of the equation, then what value am I adding, right? If I'm just like the lead aggregator person, I'm like, hey, now that I have made contact with you, talk to this other loan officer and they're going to do the thing. That's not how I want. There's not the wrong way to run a business. That's not how I want to run mine.
Same.
I want it to be very much so personal.
Yeah, they hired you, right?
They hired me, right? And there might be other people who are pulling credit and figuring out income and doing stuff in the background, but they don't need to know that. Yeah, cool. So we are like kind of at the end of the first quarter in 2026, and you know everyone's been talking about all this inventory is going to come on, all this inventory is coming on. Are you seeing that in the marketplace right now? And kind of give me your high level overview of where you think the Sonoma County market is.
So I was expecting a lot more inventory to pop on, like at least by early March, and I really haven't seen that. Different price points, of course, are going to be their own little micro markets, but I've seen a huge movement for off-market opportunities. There's a big collaboration going on with real estate agents in so many different ways where homes don't even make it on the market.
Yeah, so for the average listener doesn't know what that, so what is off market? What does that mean? So
it just means that if you're selling your home and I have a match for that, before you even go on the market, we may have already made a deal.
So I have intent to sell, right? And I've communicated with the real estate agent and said, hey, list my house. And before the sign goes up in the front yard, they're saying, hey, I have someone who's a good match for you, and we're not even going to, like, they're going to bring you an offer, like a preemptive, before it goes on the market.
Exactly. And sometimes the best offers come in at that time because buyers don't want you to go on market. They want you to take their offer. So I'll give you an example. The transaction I just closed today from that call I just got.
Yeah.
Thank
right
you.
before we turned on the cameras, she's like, hold on, I got to call this client. We just closed.
Yeah. So that's in Petaluma. And my client had so much work left to do to prep the house for the market, right? But she had already found her replacement home. So I had given her a list of things she had to do to prep for the market. I mean, literally there was sheetrock missing from the walls.
Oh my goodness.
So do we have enough time to make the next deal work if we're going to prep your house and we're weeks out from going on the market? Nobody's really going to wait for us. So I said, hey, what do you think if I hold an off-market open house for agents and their clients strictly for 2 hours on Wednesday? She said, sure. I had 8 clients bring their buyers, and we had a fantastic offer come in the next day. They said, we'll take it off your hands the way it is, do nothing.
Like walk away, we'll take it from here.
We'll give you a rent back. I mean, they met all of our needs, and we were able to go make the offer on the replacement home saying, we're already in contract. We just need time to close, right? Versus, can you wait for me to market my home, hope to get an offer, give me 21 days, whatever it is, so I can hope that this works out? No, it worked out. It met her needs. Now we're able to make a great offer. She got a great offer. It's a win-win. It's circumstantial. I'm not always going to recommend this, right? She was in the position where it made total sense. Right. Like, hey, this could be a win-win for everybody.
So this is a good case for why, if you're looking to buy a home in the next year or any time really, that you need to have a local real estate professional on your side. Because if you're looking by yourself, just on Zillow or on Redfin or whatever search website you're on, you're only seeing the homes that have actually made it to market.
100%.
And if you're not plugged into the local agent network and like hearing about in the office what's going on and going to networking meetings, and you have a Facebook page, right, that's like people talking about their coming soons.
100%.
And you can play matchmaker before the house even goes onto the market. And that's a huge advantage for a home buyer, to have an agent who's plugged into all those different networks.
Right. A lot of buyers have this like, oh, I don't want to hire an agent, I'm just looking approach, but you're never going to really understand the market and be so plugged in if you think you know it all when you go on Zillow and Redfin and all those websites. Like, you only know this much. What's going on in the background is the value we bring. And you just go to work and make sure you get your check and you qualify for your loan, and let us do what we do every single day. Every day I'm on my Facebook page trying to find a match for my clients or pitching my needs. I believe there's like 1,600 agents and affiliates on this page. It's a private page, and every day I hear, oh my God, I got a match. Oh my God, I sold. All of those 8 buyers or agents with their buyers that came into my open house on this one in Petaluma, all were literally from this page.
That's amazing. And there's no consumers on there, so you have to be like an agent, or, you know, I think I'm a member because I'm an affiliate and answering loan questions when they come up.
I check to make sure that it's
it's cool. It's cool to see, because I mostly just like to watch and see what's happening, but it's cool to see the collaboration that's happening with the agents, where they're like, hey, I have a specific buyer need, you know, West Petaluma, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, and people are like, they think they're getting better at not posting things that are already on the market. It's like, we already saw that one. Don't want that.
We have the MLS for that.
Yes, we have MLS for that. This is not for things that are on the listing service, but it's like, hey, this is a pocket listing, or this is something that I have that's a signed listing agreement, but they don't want to sell until the summertime. Right. But that doesn't, you know, you can still play matchmaker and put a deal together, which is really, really cool. So I think, like, just to restate that, so if you're listening and you're thinking about buying a home, like, work with an agent who's super, super involved, not like a part-time agent, not like someone who's dabbling, like someone who's full-time doing this and is plugged into all these different networks, because they're going to see opportunities that you're not going to see on the internet.
100%. Yeah. It's a disservice, I think, to try to help clients when you're not plugged in. I actually just lost a client. He just contacted me off the internet, interviewed me, and was like, I want to hire you, but I also want to home shop in Napa. And I was like, I'm not well versed in Napa. Sonoma County is my hub. Right. I know the ins and outs of Sonoma County. Right. So it's a disservice to you for me to say, yeah, I'll take you to Napa. Right. And he wrote me back saying, oh my gosh, I need an agent who's going to help me home shop in both. So I'm going to go with someone else. I'm like, do it. Yeah. That's what's best for you.
Yeah. And that makes, like, that's actually best for you as well, because that person in the end probably wouldn't be satisfied with your service, because you're like, I don't know the nuances of, you know, different parts of Napa, and, you know, there's a lot of differences, right? So I think that's really smart strategy as an agent to be like, hey, I know this market. This is the one that I have mastered, and that's where I can help you the best. If you want to go to San Francisco, I'm not driving across the bridge. I'm happy to refer you to someone that I will within my network that has similar expertise that I have here, but there, or Napa or Sac, whatever it is. Because I think there's a lot of folks who are broadening their scope, and they're saying, well, I would like to be in Sonoma County, but I'm also open to here, and here.
Right.
I have a firefighter right now works in Marin, but he works 2 days a week. So he has an agent in Sonoma County, he has an agent in the East Bay, and he has an agent in Sacramento. And whoever finds him in the right house first, and he's very open with it, which is good. And he's not hiding the fact that he's looking at other places, but all these agents are like, fine, I don't want to try to sell you a house in Sacramento.
No,
that doesn't make sense. I know nothing about that market.
Right.
So.
And with that said, I just closed a deal in San Diego last month. But that was a special circumstance.
Okay.
So.
What was that? Tell me about that.
A family member, she lives in San Diego, found the property and was like, Jules, I want to work with you. So just write it up for me.
So you facilitated it, but you weren't out there showing properties.
Well, I did fly out there to do my
agent inspection
duties and all that good stuff. It was awesome. I flew out of Santa Rosa straight to San Diego. I was there for 24 hours, did all the things, celebrated, and flew right back. It was pretty easy.
Wonderful.
Yeah, but that's
like
a
fun.
different circumstance.
That's a one-off.
We're licensed by the
sure.
state, so we technically could do that, but I just don't think it's a disservice.
Yeah,
truly.
I'm licensed in multiple states, and I do business kind of all over. But I think I add the most value for clients who are local because similar to what you're experiencing in your office, like, hey, here's what I have coming off market, or your Facebook group. We do that here within our team. Where if I have someone who owns real estate now that's moving up or downsizing or relocating or whatever, I'm looking at that and going, okay, who else is in our pre-approved buyer pool? Is this a good home for? Yeah. And what agent can I call and be like, hey, this is coming up. Right. Like, let's play matchmaker here.
100%. The collaboration is just like gold.
Yep.
It's everything.
Yeah, it's really, really, really important. So, that's great. What made you start that Facebook group? You just decided, because it's a great idea. I'm just curious to know,
So this is what happened. It's been about 10 years since I started that. And at that time, it was becoming trendy for agents to put a coming soon sign on their for sale sign, right? And so I was constantly getting clients messaging me like, what about this one? And I'm like, I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
And they just send you the picture of the house and you're like, that tells me nothing. What's the address? What's the name on the sign? All the things, right? And so I was like, how cool would it be if we knew more than they knew? And if we just collaborated, right? It just brings so much value to us. And in an era where everything could be online, it's not, right? So it just grew over time, and it's just become so powerful. But that was the idea behind it. Like, how can we provide more value to our clients?
I think it's cool because I know that there's some brokerages that have internal, coming soon platforms, and they're looking internally. But this is brand agnostic. So you don't have to just be a W agent to be on that page. You don't not just Compass, not just whatever. It could be anybody.
100%.
So anyone who's in the real estate community, if you're not part of that group, check it out.
And it's more than just off-market opportunities, really. Over time, it's really become when my clients need something and I don't have that person, or I haven't recently experienced this, I say, let me talk to my network. And I jump on and I'm like, I need this.
Yeah.
I had a problem that came up last year in December that I had never encountered, and it was with the lending side, right? And I jumped on there and I was like, has anyone ever seen this? And multiple agents and actually another lender wrote me and said, I just experienced this. Call me. I know how to solve it. This woman literally solved the problem for my client, charged him nothing, while she knew he was closing the deal with another lender. And she was like, I know exactly how to do this.
It's wonderful.
I'm happy to help you.
I got that call. There's a condo complex that's down in Marin County that's having some trouble financing with some stuff. And there's workarounds for it, and there's specific lenders that you can use. And I got a call from some broker down there. And I think he was expecting me to try to take the deal from him. And I'm like, I don't. It's fine. Here's how you do it. Here's the lender. Here's the account executive you need to call. This is the form you need to fill out to overcome this objection. And he was like, really? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, well, there's plenty of business to go around, man.
100%.
Like I would be frustrated if I was in his shoes and I called a lender like, hey, I saw that you just closed a transaction here. I don't understand because I'm having some trouble. And he's like, well, just send me the deal. You know, like that's not the way to handle that.
At the top, we collaborate.
At the top, we collaborate.
Yeah.
There's a soundbite for the podcast right there.
It's true.
It's true.
We need each other.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's really important because you can't do it alone and you need to rely on other agents to make stuff happen. And if you have a bad reputation because you're a deal hog and you try to screw people out of deals, then it comes back to you. You might win that one, but you're going to lose a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Okay. So off-market collaboration, you're big on right now. You're building your personal brand after coming off the team and joining the new brokerage. What else are you working on in 2026?
Actually, getting my broker's license.
Okay.
I've been studying for that since last year.
What does that allow you to do that you can't do now?
So many things that I'm not actually going to do. But let me tell you why
Okay.
I'm doing it. Because I feel like it's my 20th year in real estate, and how much more can I empower myself than with knowledge, right? So no, I'm not going to go start my own brokerage and take on all that liability, but I'm studying to learn and grow, and that's just my focus. So let's celebrate by taking on 8 college courses.
Woo-hoo.
Why not?
Why not?
I'm almost done. I have 2 more, and then I can go for my test. But just growing, right?
Yeah, always be growing, right?
Yeah.
Always be learning, adding to the skill set. But it doesn't actually change anything with your business.
It won't.
Right.
It can
Yeah.
if I want it to. But
Yeah, there's like professional certifications that I have that don't alter my business at all, but it's just good information and good knowledge and and also for you, I guess, it allows you to have the option to go start your own brokerage if you wanted to in the future. If something happened, rules or laws change, or things get shaken up, then you can always have that to fall back on.
Yeah, you could.
Makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I guess I always ask people like, what do you do? Like, so you there's a lot of real estate professionals out there. There's lots of people who can sell you a house, right? How do you differentiate yourself, and how have you like built up your reputation in the industry, and how did you ascend to be a top performing agent? There's a lot of newer agents that I know that listen to this because they reach out to me and we'll talk. So what did you do like consciously or unconsciously to separate yourself from other people in the local industry?
So I know that a lot of agents like always kind of try to go for online leads and kind of, in my opinion, reinvent the wheel every time. But what I've done over the years is really hyper focus on nurturing my database, right? Okay. And like I was sharing earlier, I'm literally selling houses to my past clients' kids because they're now adults, right?
Is that wild? You sold a house 20 years ago and now their kids are buying houses?
Their first house. Yeah. It's so cool. So the way that you get past clients to continue to refer you is you kill it for them. You go up to bat for them. You look out for them. You take care of them to the point where they are so grateful for what you did for them that they want nothing more than to tell their friends and their family, right? And so that's been my business model, is do good for everybody, take care of them. I think about it this way, right? So like if I'm going to take my car to the mechanic, I have no idea what you do and how you do it. Right. And whatever you tell me, I'm going to trust you that it's true because I'm going to you, right? The same trust is being placed in me when my clients hire me, and I don't take that lightly. So I empower them with education. I always tell everyone, by the time we're done with this transaction, you're going to know more about real estate than you probably ever cared to. But if I empower you with the knowledge, making the decisions is so much easier. Right.
It makes a lot of sense. And I think I think that having a strategy around how you take care of your clients before, during, and after a transaction is super, super important. And making sure that you don't leave yourself in a forgettable position. Like the number of clients that I work with, especially on refinances, I'll be like, hey, who was the loan officer that did your purchase loan? Yeah. And they're like,
don't remember.
What was that dude's name? And I'm like, really? Like he didn't call you since then. You haven't talked to him since you closed 5 years ago. Like that's not like automated email stuff, but like actual personal connection. Now, I think there's probably folks in my database who have fallen through the cracks, but that happens. But in general, like how do you stay in contact with your clients so that they can refer you, 15 years later? Like, are you doing pop-bys? Are you doing like, what's your method to stay in their sphere?
I've done a little bit of everything, but what I mainly do is I just text them when I think about them. Mm-hmm. So I just messaged a client the other day where I saw a new listing come up in her neighborhood, and I was like, hey, I was thinking about you. Did you know about this listing that just hit your, or hit the market in your neighborhood? And they're gonna drive by that, and they're gonna wonder how much it's selling for because they have an investment on that street, right? So it's like, and I do genuinely think about you. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is right. This is just like yours, So I just kind of like, as I think about it, I don't make it this like every Tuesday for 2 hours I'm calling my past clients because everything I do just has to be authentic and it has to just come, right? So it's like, if I see something in your neighborhood, if I think about you, if I see that you're going through something, if I just think like, oh, I wonder how that surgery went for you that we just talked about last month before we closed. Because when you're in a transaction with someone, you talk almost every day and then boom, right? But you shared special moments with me. So it's like, if I'm thinking about you, if I remember about this, if I'm praying about you for something, I'm going to follow up because you're genuinely in my mind and my heart.
Right.
So
that makes a lot of sense. I find myself doing the same thing where I'll just, I ran into this thing or saw something like it reminds me of that client, or I see them post something on social or whatever. And it's like, hey, I haven't talked to them for a while. I should just text them or call them and just be like, there's no reason for me to call besides, I got to know you during our transaction and I generally and genuinely like people.
Right. You just hit it off with some people too, like a little more than others, just personalities, and you're just like, I miss you.
And there's some clients that I don't ever want to talk to again because they, were not kind, and that you run into those, you get the job done, and you're like, okay, thank you very much.
It happens.
Enjoy your time. Not too many of those. Been more selective.
Thank God.
Yes, but there definitely are some of those. All right, so what do you think is going to happen for the rest of the year here locally? Like local economic stuff, price points, acceleration, trends that we need to be looking out for. Give me your crystal ball of what happens for the rest of 2026.
Crystal ball. We can't predict absolutely anything, but what I'm seeing with my clients is most buyers are still absolutely moving forward with their plans. Interest rates did creep up, so they may be adjusting here and there, but they're not stopping the home search. There is not enough inventory on the market, so I think we're always going to have enough buyers until that changes. But what I am seeing with my listings is the comps for a few months back aren't necessarily aligning with what the market is saying, right? So when the market speaks, we have to listen. So if we've been on the market 30 days, have had 20 showings and no offers, the market has spoken. Right? So you have to listen. And I think that's going to be a trend forever, not only just for the rest of the year, but how are buyers reacting to what's going on out here and what it's going to take for them to make the move on your house. It's going to take some tweaking and adjusting as we go. So we have to always be listening, because I have seen, and I've actually made these offers where my clients are like, yeah, I'll take it for this price. And if you give me this credit, and if you do that, right? So it's like, what is the buyer sentiment out there? What is it going to take?
Right.
Because ultimately they want to buy and you want to move.
I've noticed that. I agree with that. I noticed this trend where, like houses that are priced well, that are well set up and like market ready, they sell in a couple of days. And then sometimes there's some stale inventory out there. And it's surprising to me because I have a huge stack of pre-approved buyers out there that are either seriously shopping or kind of casually shopping, and there's a mix of those. But I'm like, what's going on with this property? If it's been on the market for 90 days, like no one came in and said, well, I don't like it for that price, but I'll buy it for this price, and they made a deal, or they just, is the seller just set in those examples? Like they're just like, I'm not taking less than 900,000, for example, and the market's like, it's worth 800. Is that what's happening there, or what's your analysis?
So there is no one thing happening. You have to remember that we're dealing with people and circumstances in life, right? So I'll give you an example. I have a listing that's been sitting for a little bit, and we've had many requests for buyers to come through. And my sellers have pets on the property that they can't get out because they're working and we need someone here for the pets. So it's like, we haven't been able to get these people in, right? Sometimes there's health issues with the family. Sometimes there's so many reasons. It could be the price, but there's so much going on in the background that's so personal that you would never know unless your agent picked up the phone and called the other agent and say, hey, what's going on? So never discount like, oh, that one's been sitting for, 100 days or whatever. One, that's an opportunity. Find out what's going on, find out how you can meet their needs and how you can maybe create a deal, right? But a lot of buyers, I hear it over and over. They say, oh, there must be something wrong with that one because blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you can speculate all day, but what's really going on, we don't know until we actually find out. Let's find out.
Right. I tend to be more curious than anything. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, there's something there. There's something happening there, obviously. But I'm just curious to know what it is. So if you like the house or location or whatever it is, like, have your agent call the other agent and be like, what's up with this? What's going on, and what's the bottom line, and what are they needing?
Back to education. Educate yourself. Don't make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions. That's good. Cool. How about some advice for sellers in this market?
Sellers, come back down to earth.
Okay.
Understand what's going on. Understand that buyers may have reservations right now. There's a lot going on in our world that makes them think twice. Is this the best time, right? So price your home attractively. Price it. It's two things that get buyers through the door. It's going to be your price and it's going to be your photos. The rest your house has to do. When they walk through the door, now it's what you did in here, the feeling they get, that's going to make them have the next move.
The online presence is going to get them to schedule the appointment, right? But you really have to blow them away when they actually walk through the door.
Exactly. So buyers nowadays really want move-in ready. And because interest rates are so high, they're taking on these huge mortgages and they're like, I can't afford to do anything else once I'm in. So go the extra mile. Do the little details that really make the buyer feel like I can move in here and do nothing. So that's my advice for sellers. Be very realistic in your asking price. Have solid comparables.
Right.
And more than looking back, because that's what comps are, you got to be looking forward every single time you list a property.
That makes sense. I think we're getting a bit of a mixed message in a way from what we're hearing about, hey, there's so much buyer demand, which means it should be a seller's market and they should be able to name their price and everyone's going to come flocking to it and throw themselves at it and make it happen. But I'm noticing the buyer trends are they're being more selective.
100%.
That they're like, we don't have to buy. This is a privilege to buy.
Yeah.
We want to buy. We want to be in the homeownership class. That's great, but we're not going to throw money at it and just bid up.
They are not.
We had a situation this week for a condo here in town, like a townhome style, and it was like multiple counter, multiple this, multiple that, and finally our client was like, I don't like the house that much.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like at this price point, I can be choosy and I can go look other places and I don't need to buy. And this is more stress than anything. And in a way, the strategy of the multiple counter thing like kind of backfired because it kicked out one of the buyers. And I don't think they really, if they would have done like a single counter back, they probably would have done better. But anyway, that's
I'm
some nuance.
home shopping right now with my family. I'm not afraid of this market at all, but I am being selective. I'm like, I like my house and I will move and I'm ready to move.
Yeah.
But the house just has to really fit. Check off all the...
There's this great Facebook page that you can go to see off-market listings.
Let me call my agent.
I'm curious about that. So what's motivating you to buy and sell right now?
Well, my family needs. They're just at the top, right? So whatever noise is happening in the market, I don't really care. I don't care about what's happening outside of my family bubble. And if you think about it, a lot of buyers are moving because of their personal needs first.
Right.
They're taking everything else into consideration, but the real reason it's personal, right? So my kids are getting older. I want a little bit more space. I applied for a loan and I qualify. So why the heck would I not? My numbers work. And that's back to the buyers. Do my numbers work? Does it make sense? Otherwise, I don't want it, right? So We've been home shopping for about 6 months and have been actually not outbid necessarily, but both of the offers we recently made, they went with a cash offer. There's a lot of cash. What does that tell you about the market and the buyers out there too, right? These folks out there with all cash, they're not afraid to pump it into the market regardless of what's going on out there, because real estate has always proven to be a way to build wealth over time.
And in all examples, with enough time.
Exactly.
Real estate has always gone up.
Yeah.
Right.
You buy real estate and wait. You don't wait to buy.
Right.
It's just so simple.
Yeah. And it's funny because people will comment and be like, that's not true. If you bought here and you sold, yes, there are examples of time periods. If you bought here and you sold here, you lost money. That's totally true. With enough time, if you zoom out and look at a longer duration of time, even if you bought at the worst time before the real estate meltdown in 2006, if you were able to hold on to your home, I said this on like the last podcast, I think. If you're able to hold on to your home, you've made money.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
not everyone is able to hold on to their home, and I have a lot of sympathy and empathy for those people. I know lots of them, like parents of my friends and that sort of thing. That was like our generation. So I have nothing but compassion for them, people who lost homes in that. Yeah. If you were able to hold on to that home, you are positive on appreciation at this point. Which is funny because everyone's like, well, that was the high. We'll never get back there again. It's like, well, we've zoomed past those prior highs, like by far. Yep. And then even again, like during the pandemic, when there's a lot of low rates and people like throwing money on houses, that the house, I told this story before, the house we own a rental property on the east side of Petaluma. That was our first home we bought in 2012. The house was directly next door, same exact model, just turned 90 degrees from our orientation, sold for like $900,000. Like, I love our house on the east side. I love that house. I would not pay $900,000 for that house. It's not worth $900,000. But at the time, it was there's a frenzy. I think there was like 6 or 7 offers on that house too. Wow. It was like a crazy situation. And it's not worth the $900 anymore. Yeah. It's worth $825 maybe. And so that person is lost equity, I guess, in the property. But again, in time, it'll go up. You'll just have to wait it out. Okay, so we did some advice for buyers, advice for sellers. You told us what we think is happening in the market. What else, if you are playing in the real estate game in Sonoma County, what else should you be thinking about or knowing?
See, this is why I wanted you to tell me the questions before. What should you be knowing?
You've been doing this a long time, right? So you've seen these trends come and go, right? So I guess I'll ask a better question, because that's maybe not a good question if you're not popping to an exact answer. If you are, if you own real estate already in Sonoma County, and maybe this is forever home, maybe this is not forever home. What should you be thinking about? Is now the time to be selling? Is now the time to be holding on and waiting for better market conditions? Should they be waiting for rates to go down? Like, what are your thoughts on the timing of things?
Okay, so I want to speak directly to those who bought homes at least 5 to 6 years ago. Okay. You're sleeping on an opportunity right now. The market is lending towards asking for time from the seller to either sell and upgrade, or I'll tell you an even better approach. Utilize that equity that you have in your home right now. Keep that home, turn it into a rental. Use that equity and buy your next home. Make sure the numbers work, of course. That's when you have to call me and we can work through the numbers, right? But if the numbers work, why are you sleeping on this opportunity? Rent this home out, buy the next house, and start building wealth through real estate, right? The equity you have could be gone tomorrow. It did nothing for you. But if you put that to work right now, buy your next home. As soon as rates drop, you're going to just be cruising through life and being like, heck yes, I have a rental, I own a home, and who knows, maybe that's 2 years down the road. Now you could do it again and do it again and do it again. And you get the best rates when it's owner occupied, and it still makes sense to do that. In fact, I'm working on doing that myself because I have a 2.5 interest rate on my current house. I'm like, cool, I'll keep it, and I'll still move. Yeah,
that's exactly what we did.
Yeah.
We took out a small equity line on our first home that appreciated in value, did an FHA loan on that on that house. So we we had this is the best investment we'll ever make. And then we took some cash out of it and used that as down payment on our current home and rented out the old one. It cash flows, pays off all the debt. It's a great situation. And then exactly what you said happened. We were able to refinance down and to the twos on both of the houses, in 2020 or 2021. Yeah. And it's like we're pretty well set. Yeah. Now, I think there is a case for people to go, hey, look, if you have a great house that you love and a 2.5% interest rate, then great. Consider yourself lucky and call it a day, right? You're done. You can stay in that home, age in that home, do your thing. And if you don't love the home, or if you've outgrown the home or is no longer meeting your needs, then it's a great opportunity for you to, like you said, move some of that equity from one house to the next, buy your next home that meets your needs. Because like you said earlier, it doesn't matter the interest rate, it doesn't matter the payment. If the home is no longer meeting the needs of the family, then it's not the right home. It's not. And that's it. Yeah. And it's not about the numbers necessarily. We don't buy homes necessarily purely for economic reasons. Yeah. We buy them for emotional reasons. We buy them for fulfillment reasons. We buy them for sense of home and place and belonging. And if you're not getting that from your current place, then you need to do something.
Yeah. You can also stay there and still utilize your equity. Buy a duplex. Like, there's so much opportunity. Stop sleeping on it. Stop Googling stuff and just reach out to a professional and know your situation, and then make decisions once you have the knowledge.
There you go. So if you want to start building wealth in real estate, I'll make sure that your contact information is in the show notes. Please. And they can reach out and run some numbers and some scenarios and do some dreaming. Yes. I don't think that we allow ourselves to dream as much as we should. There's a lot of people who just work their 9 to 5, take their kids to soccer practice, make dinner, go to bed, and they're not thinking about the bigger picture. Like you said, they're sleeping on an opportunity to go, hey, I've got all this equity. Why don't I deploy some of it? Let me do something with it. And then, cash flow somewhere else, have other streams of income, plan for your future and your retirement.
If you're not in the industry, these thoughts don't even enter your mind.
Right.
You're
I
just
think we're not taught
I could do that.
Yeah. We're not, it's not something that we talk about and teach in our schools and households.
Right. Why not?
Yeah, we should be. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It was awesome. And I'll make sure that all your contact information is in the show notes. And if anyone has any questions, and they'll reach out to you directly. Yeah. And
Stay up to date with Bay Area real estate. Hit subscribe now if you haven't already. Did you enjoy this episode? We love reviews in the Apple Podcasts app. We'll read yours on